Namaste everyone and welcome to our continued study of Patanjali YogSutra. As stated, we are going to continue with the third chapter, sloka from 11th to 20. Today's session is especially very going to be very intense and very productive because as we proceed further in the Patanjali YogSutra study, the the concept and the thoughts become subtler and subtler, and we are going to understand what are the advantages of doing this exercise and learning this Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So that is what are the vibhutis you get. So we'll look at that. So the 11th verse we did dharnas, dhyan and samadhi. So now the verse number 11 says what the samadhi parinam. What are the results of samadhi? So the sutra number 11 reads sarvarthata ekagratayo kshayo udayo chittasya samadhi parinam. There are 6 words here, no? And we'll go word by word to understand the meaning of this sutra. So, sarvarthata, sarva means all, arthata means meaning, sarva, arthata, ekagratayo, and in the focus mind, ekagratayo, kshayo means depletion or fading away, udaya means arising or coming up and becoming more obvious and manifest. The kshayo, udayo, chittasya means of mind. Chitta, mind. Chittasya of mind. Samadhi, parinam. So it essentially says that the mind which is normally scattered and getting involved into multiple subjects and objects, sarva means all, arthata, it wants to know about everything, sarvartha, that gets depleted or that becomes diminished, and ekagrata means concentrated mind's focus increases. So depletion of our wandering mind and focusing of our mind is the result of samadhi. Means the mind which is normally roaming everywhere and gets involved and entangled in everything and keeps shifting. So sarvartha ta. Instead of that, now it is trained to go only in one direction by following the discipline that we are pursuing. Now mind is going only in one track on that object, that idea, whatever you have chosen. So that's what the sutra means. Sarvarthata, ekagrata yo, these two. Once depletion of one and the intensifying of the other faculty, that is the result of samadhi. So now we have this extraordinary asset with us. What? The focused mind. And by that, we can understand the things which normally we would not understand. So now the yogi or a seeker is developing special faculties and special abilities of the mind because he has trained the mind. It is like a street dog. You are training that dog, and after intense training, now the dog is obeying your orders, and now it is a guard dog or a guide dog. From a wandering dog, it becomes a guide dog. Same way, the mind which was wandering, now instead of going everywhere, that is going to obey you. That monkey which was going from place to place without your control is now trained and tamed to follow your instruction, and you will say that do this, and he will perform the dance for you, because that is trained. So that's what ekagrata gives us. So once we have ekagrata, we will be able to get special advantages. So the Lord Krishna explained to Arjuna these things in the second chapter is all Gnana Yoga. So he explained multiple things, and then he comes to a stage where he was explaining this Patanjali YogSutra essentially. So he was explaining about the mind, and Arjuna asked that what is this sthit pragna? Because what focus mind in the language of Gita or in our scripture is a sthita pragna. Sthita means steady, pragna means intellect or our consciousness. So Arjuna asked the question, sthita pragnasya ka bhasa samadhisthasya kesava sthit dhi kim prabhaset kim asit vrajet kim. He asked three questions. Lord, what is this sthit pragna thing? You are telling me to focus my mind. So he says, sthit pragnasya, the one having the sthit pragna. Ka bhasa, what is his characteristic? Ka bhasa. Sthit pragna kim prabhaseta, how he talks. Kim asit, how he sits. Kim vrajet, and how he walks. Means how he conducts his life in the world. Tell me. So he requests Lord to tell him that what is this sthit pragna and how that gentleman looks like and conducts his affairs. So the Lord gives answer in two slokas only. So prajahati, Bhagavan Uvacha. When say Bhagavan Uvacha comes, we have to be very attentive, because that thing you want to imprint on your mind. प्रजाहाति यदा कामान् सर्वान् पार्थ मनोगतान् आत्मनेव आत्मना तुष्टा स्थित प्रज्ञस्तदा उच्यते. Finished. Prajahati means annihilation, deletion. Prajahati yada kaman. Yada means when. Kaman means all desires. Prajahati, this is a yada tada sloka. When you do this, you get that. Prajahati yada kaman. Sarvan means all of them. Sarvan parth manognatan. Atmanev atmana tusta sthit pragnastada uchyate. When a seeker has deleted and all his thirst and desires from his mind, and then he will be happy on his own with his Atman. Atmanev Atmana Tusta. Sthit Pragnas Tada Uchyate. Such a gentleman is called Sthit Pragna. And what happens? What ability he gets special? Dukkhesu anudvignamanaha. If a dukkha comes, he is undisturbed. Dukkhesu anudvignamanaha. Sukhesu vigata spruha. He has no thirst for sukha. He is not perturbed by when the dukkha or circumstances change, or nor he is hankering for sukha. Dukkhesu anudvignamanaha. Sukhesu vigata spruha means whose thirst is gone. Yes, with rag bhaya krodha, who is devoid of, with means devoid, with raga means attachment or passion, with raga bhaya means fear, with raga bhaya krodha, he has no passion, no anger, no thirst. With raga bhaya krodha, sthit dhi, such a gentleman, sthit dhi munir uchate. Uchate. Such a seeker is now called a yogi or a muni. So God describes this requirement. And when we have concentrated our mind, means mind is not going anywhere. A trained mind is not going from here to there, that I want to go this and now I want to go to Aruba and now I want to go Bahama, or I want to do this. All those things are faded because of his practice. So So, and when that happens, he has concentrated his mind towards the divinity within, and he's pursuing and going closer and closer. And the deficiencies of the mind, these are all deficiencies of mind. And that raga, dvesh, all these things are the contaminants of the mind. When those contaminants are gone, the mind becomes very transparent. Nirmalman, that is nirmal. So there's so then the light of Atman shines, and he is happy as it is within himself. He doesn't have to go anywhere, doesn't have to do anything, doesn't have to have the bank balance, doesn't have to do anything, or and he is just happy. So that is the status of mind of a yogi. So that's what happens with this preparation and pursuing this path. So God says that you are what your mind is. Your mind is disturbed, you are a disturbed man. Your mind is very lusty, you are a lusty man. Mind is very peaceful, you are a peaceful man. So whatever is your mind, that's what you are. So train your mind. So that's why all these sadhanas and all these advice in the scripture, if you train your mind, you are happy. If you don't train your mind, that mind becomes from bad to worse and will be making you here and there and make you very unhappy. So that is the gain one gets by doing this repeatedly, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So the requirements are there. But if you pursue, this is the result. So the mind which was a potentially harmful mind is now helpful mind. The mind which was causing you pain and distraction and misery is now not interfering with you and is following your your consciousness. So all the indriyas, instead of taking you outside, they are going to follow your mind. You remember last time we says that it is like as a bee nest. There is a queen bee. Wherever the queen bee goes, other bees go out. When the queen bee comes back, all the bees come back. Same way, the senses go out and roam in the world, but a trained mind, now mind is not cooperating and going towards the soul, so the senses are also following mind now. So that is the samadhisthasya. Means the man who is in has attained that stage. So next sutra, that is 312, tells us that ekagrata parinam. So what is the focus mind and how, what is the characteristic of that one? So it says Santo Dito Tulya, verse number 12. Santo Udito Tulya Pratyayo Chittasya Ekagrata Parinam. 7 words here. Santo means subsiding or quiet. Quiet thought. Udito means present thought or one which is active. Santo, Udito, Tulya means they are same, similar, identical. Santo, Udito, Tulyo, Pratyayo means content of mind. Chittasya ekagrata parinam means focused mind is such a mind where it is not a thoughtless mind, but all the thoughts are similar, identical, and in one direction. So Santo means quietened thought, Udito means a rising thought. They are identical. So when a spinning top, when it is spinning very high frequency, it appears as if it is steady. Machinery which is spinning very fast appears as if it is not moving. Similarly, mind has thought, but they are all identical. Example. It's like instead of frogs in a pond where the frogs jump from one direction to other direction and there is no continuity, no similarity. Normal mind is like that. It will jump from here, there, wherever it goes, gets attached, gets happy, unhappy, and carries its journey. But a concentrated mind is like a dolphin. Goes in, comes out, goes in, comes out. Same wave, same thought. Means thought is similar, identical. That is called ekagrata. Means if you are studying camera, you are looking at the camera, you are looking at its color, lens, how it functions, what are the machinery inside, what are the functions. But your thought is only on camera. You are not going from camera to car to bank. Normal mind will do that and it does that. But mind of a scientist, mind of a yogi is all focused in one thought only. Mind of a physicist focused. So when the quality of waves are identical and similar, it is called ekagrata. Ekagrata. So that ekagra mind is the product of our own effort. And by doing our own effort, you can train our mind. So that's why God says, Udaret Atmana Atmanam, Na Atmanam Avsadayet. Atmev Atmano Bandhu, Atmev Ripura Atmana. Your mind, you lift yourself with the ability that I've given. God tells us that you do it. I gave you a beautiful computer with that power of intellect, determination, all those things I gave you. You lift yourself. Udred Atmana Atmanam. Na Atmanam Avsade. Don't let mind drag you and make you flat on the floor. Atmev Atmano Bandhu. If the mind is trained, it is your friend. Atmev Ripur Atmana. If you don't train it, it will kill you, it will fool you, it will harass you. So God left that thing for us to do. We don't do it. We pamper, we spoil, we destroy our mind from childhood to youth to whole life. And then God says, now you are crying, baby. No, you messed up the computer. What can I do? So God says, I have nothing to do with it. So that is the meaning of ekagra mind. That's why you want to do it. So Shankaracharya ji explains that samadhi process and all these things as pranayamam. That is Bhaj Govindam. Pranayamam, which we understood. Pratyaharam, withdrawing your senses back. Pranayamam, pratyaharam. Nitya nitya viveka vichara. With your intellect thinking what is permanent, what is not permanent. Nitya, anitya, viveka, vichara. Is this a right choice? Is this a wrong choice? Is this a helpful choice? Is this a harmful choice? Is it worthwhile? It is not means thinking man. Become thinking man. Pranayamam pratyaharam nitya anitya viveka vicharam. Japya sameta, along with the japa, japya sameta samadhi vidanam kurva vadhanam mahata vadhanam. See, these all yogis teach the same thing. Japa Samit, with the japa, why japa? No, no, not that we have nothing else to do. But with the japa, it trains your mind because it's only one thought. That japa trains your mind to be only in one direction, wherever you want. Normal mind is scattered mind. It will go everywhere. But the yogi's mind, because of a pranayam, pratyahar, nityanitya vivek, which are japya, japa, do that process, do it with care. Kurva, the avdhanam means with care. Mahad avdhanam, with great care. Because if you leave it up in the half, You won't get anything. You can fall from samadhi and you train your mind, and again you can become a worldly or even worse man. No. So kurva vadhanam mahadavadhanam. So this is the process, and that is what we have to do it. And God says that you do it. And he says again in Bhagavad Gita, Satatam kirtayanto mam. One who constantly worships me. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Yatantascha dradvata. Yatantascha means striving. Yatantascha dradvata means firmly determined. Satatam kirtayanto mam. Yatantascha dradvata. Namasyantascha mam bhaktya nityayukta upasate. Such a yogi is going on my path, he is going to be different than the regular worldly man. So that is ekagrata, and that is the advantage of that. So it is one point focused, means you have focused your mind only on one goal. Decide goal, remain focused. As long as you are focused and pursuing and nothing else, you will get it. And we all do it. The businessman gets up in the morning, he gets a call related to business, he reads that newspaper related to business, he calls, makes phone calls, he goes to the office, he opens his shop, that is business, he thinks about money, he transacts money whole day, every activity, even at the time of closing of the shop, he's counting money, means his thought is only on money from morning till evening. So he is also a yogi, but he's a yogi for money. God says, you made this goal, you will get money, but you won't get so many other things. So be careful on what you decide. That's what it is. So ekagrata. So next sloka comes, that verse. What is the ability you will get? Means etena, 13. Sloka etena means by this, by concentrated mind, focused mind, etena bhuta indriyeshu dharma lakshana avastha parinam vyakhyata. With such a mind, what will happen? You will have great advantages. No? That is, with focused mind means etena, bhuta means panchmabhut. So that is Bhumi, Rapo, Anlo, Vayu, 5. Means inert material. And you put Indriya on that. So Bhuta Indriyeshu. See, these are very complex. Bhutendriyeshu. We will never understand unless somebody explains. Bhutendriyeshu. Bhuta means inert material. Indriya, associated with Indriya, means live being. Bhutendriyeshu. You will understand dharma, lakshana, avastha. You will understand its essential nature, its non-essential nature, and at what stage that object is. So dharma, lakshana, avastha, parinam, vyakhya means it will be very clear to you. With a concentrated mind, you will understand. Physicist understands the physics. And you will understand human being, you will understand all beings. Means indriyas. Who has the indriyas? All living beings have indriyas. So you will understand rabbit, you will understand dog, anybody, and you will understand even the trees and the nature. Their essential nature, their non-essential nature, and at what stage they are. So concentrated mind is able to see through and through and understand. So, Bhuta Ekagra Dharma Lakshana. Because we are made up of two things, basic material, hand is made of basic material, and senses. This combination is a live being. So, except Atman, which powers this, everything else is Anatman. We have done this before. So, this Anatman thing or Prakriti has a characteristic of changing all the time. It will change continuously. Atma doesn't change. Prakriti changes, means my body changes. It used to be very handsome. Now you get wrinkles and you get all the blemishes. So these because it belongs to Prakriti. So Bhuta Prakriti. This and at what stage you are means it will know the basic nature. The man who is with his ability of concentrated mind will understand the essential nature. The essential nature of sugar is sweetness. Non-essential nature of sugar is what is the color of the sugar, how big is the grain, is it a powder sugar or a lump sugar? Those are non-essential characteristics. The yogi will understand the essential nature and non-essential nature. So with the sugar, whatever the sweet mate you have made, he will be able to see through and through that all these things essentially are sweet. And their appearance, color, and shapes are different. So dharma, lakshana, and avastha, and what stage they are. So now they are sugar. Before that, it was just a raw material. So the yogi is able to see all these three stages simultaneously and is able to understand object, living and non-living. So etena bhute indriyeshu dharma lakshana avastha parinam vyakhyata. So that is the advantage of that. So like yogi will understand the child, youth, old age, and everything. And he can see old age in a child. He can see through and through because he's aware about this transformation which goes on and on uninterrupted. And he is able to see the basic reality, which is the soul, which is not changing. So that is the dharma. So you will be able to understand either living being or non-living being. Another example, a tree, you see a trunk, you bring it to the warehouse, cut it to pieces, so now it is a slab. Then you cut it to smaller pieces and fit it, and now it is a chair. You polish it and chair. And so the material changes, its modification changes, its usefulness changes. So this is chair. You can sit on it and you know the purpose of it and the function of it. But you can see all these and you know that this wood at this time is in the form of a chair. When that form is destroyed and gets old and you put it in a recycle it, then it is, you know that it is again turned to wood or dust. Means you will be able to understand the various stages very, very clearly. So that is the meaning of that. The next verse gives a newer concept of a word called dharmi. So santo, udita, avapya desya, dharmanupati, dharmi. 5 words. Santa means one which has become quiet or past, santa. Udita means one which is arising. Avapya desya means unmanifest, which has not manifested yet. Means the one which is currently present, one which is not yet manifest, and what manifested before. All these three things are contained in the concept or word called dharmi. Dharmi means the one who holds all dharma is called dharmi. So the reality is that we are soul World is the Prakriti. We are combination of consciousness and Prakriti, and in between there is another entity called Dharmi, which which enjoys, suffers childhood, middle age, youth, and old age. So that is called Dharmi. Dharmi is a container in which is Atman and in which Prakriti, and Dharmi is the enjoyer or sufferer. It's like an ego. So Dharmi is the container, and we go through these different phases, enjoy, suffer, various phases. But that consciousness, I was a child, I was flying kites at the age of 14, 15, and now that then you become doctor, and all those stages, you Dharmi remains the same. Enjoy. So Dharmi is the container. When container is broken, then consciousness is gone, but that consciousness, which is Atman, is now with the imprints. So that is called Jivatman. And that imprint, with Atman with imprint, will move forward. If you are a very big yogi and if you finish this time, all these goodies, we follow all the steps, and there are no imprints on our soul, then God says you are a Jivan Mukta, free. But if you have a lot of imprints, then you will get birth after birth after birth. So, but as long as you are in this body, you are called dharmi. So, dharmi, you are enjoying it. Or ego, I am Dr. Atul Chokshi. So, that happens, that is the function of dharmi. So, santo udito avapya means unmanifest, dharma anupati means which stays always there in all these stages. Anupati is dharmi. So next verse comes, that is that explains the sequence of changes. It says, the 315 says, Kramanyatvam Parinama Anyatve Hetu. Only 4 words. Kramanyatvam. Kram means sequence. Anyatvam. Anya means different. Tvam means qualities. Kramanyatvam means sequence of different qualities. Parinam, it results in anyatva. It results in different being or different stage, otherness. So, sequence of changes takes you to another formation. Means sequence of changes occurred in childhood. That sequence leads you to a youthfulness. So changes happening there. As a result, you become something else. So childhood died and youth was born. Youth died and middle age was born. And middle age will die and old age will come. So these are result of changes, krama, means sequence of changes gives you something different, what we call youth or old age. That's what it says. Kramanyatvam parinam anyatve hetu. Now, from 16th sloka onwards, Maharishi Ji tells that when you have understood so much and intensely focused year after year, you will have special abilities called vibhutis. Means yogi is not like a normal human being. He is a special. It's like as a canine army, the trained dogs in the army, they are different dogs than the dogs roaming in the street. That's what it is. So such a yogi gets special ability. So now we will go into that in details. Vibhuti. So yogic laws are different. The laws that govern us as a normal human being are different. But because this is trained, so different set of laws. So now it says what Vibhuti you will got. Parinam Traya Sanyamat, as a result of these three things, Nirodha Parinam, Samadhi Parinam, Ekagrata Parinam, these three things when tried, so Parinam Traya, Sanyamat, means with a Sanyama on that, that is a Atita Anagata Gnana. With concentrated mind, over the years following this, you get a special ability to know the past and the future. So the yogi can retrieve his past memories and memories of childhood, and even the prior birth memories are accessible to such a focused mind. That's what it says. So Parinam Traya Sanyamat Atit means past, Anagata means future, Gnanam means knowledge is available to the yogis. So the concentrated mind can do that. Not that this is the purpose, it is not the purpose of doing Patanjali YogSutra or Samadhi. So yogi doesn't become yogi to get special abilities. There will be another that you will be able to read somebody else's mind. There is another one which will say that you will be able to understand the language of animals. These abilities come to a concentrated mind. So these three are the different vibhutis we are going to see one by one. But this power is not to be used for selfish purpose or any other purpose. Unless it is going to do the very good to the world, such a yogi does not use or should not use it. If he uses for his personal gain or a selfish motive, then he falls back into samadhi, also falls back from the samadhi. But they have these special abilities one after the other. So the 17th verse source is a very complex and long one. Okay, शब्दार्थ प्रत्ययानाम इतरेतरा ध्यासात संकर तत्प्रविभाग संयमात सर्वभूत रुत ग्रानम. There are 11 words here, no, which essentially says sabdarth. Sabdarth means sabda means sound, artha means meaning. Sabdartha gnana itereta, they are superimposed on each other. Dhyasat means means it is superimposed. Sankara tat pravibhaga. Sankara means they are mixed up. Tat pravibhaga, separating that. Tat pravibhaga. Sanyamat, by the discipline. Sarvabhut means all beings, language. Ruta means sound. What animal sound produce, that language you will be able to understand. Granam is that knowledge will come to you. Language is nothing else but a sound. Say, I say cow. By training that sound, we give a meaning that a four-legged animal which gives milk. Sabda means artha, gnana, and then I know everything about cow. The moment I hear the word cow, and somebody says, go and feed the cows, throw grass at her, I know what he means. But try that and go to Germany or other place where they have never heard, or remote place, or the man who is never exposed to this word cow, he'll say what? No, he will look around. Means that sound will make no meaning to him. But we, as a child, we were trained, whatever language, mother tongue we grew up, that meaning was attached to that word, cow. When we say jal or pani, so we know somebody is asking water. But go to place where they don't speak at all these languages and say pani, he will look at you. Then, but at the same time, God has given other abilities for us to make gestures by needs, by sounds we make. People can communicate also. So that long sutra says that each sound has a meaning and knowledge behind it, but these three are so superimposed on each other that we cannot separate it out. Yogi's mind can separate it out and he can understand the language of sound. There are sound engineers, means language of sound, you will understand. So there are people who spend time in the forest with chimpanzees and with the other animals, and with the concentration and their dedication towards the animal species, they can understand their language and their behavior and their gestures. We can go in sometime. There are a lot of people who have spent and they can understand all this. It's like a pet, you have a dog or cat in your house. You don't speak their language, but the moment you come, the dog comes running to you, jumps and does the gestures. You know what the dog means. You did not. He makes the different sound, whatever sound he makes, and does. You know that he's happy. He's very happy to see you, and or very sad that you are going away. So that language of animal, that language of plant, that language of like other creatures, you understand with that focus mind. That's what it says. Beautiful. So the next one is 18th verse. Sanskar sakshat karanat purvajati gnanam. संस्कार साक्षात करणात पूर्व जाति ज्ञानम. 5 words. Sanskar means impressions, what we have gone through. Sanskar or memories. Sakshat means to bring them in front of our mind, eyes of our mind. That when I was in practice, I used to see these patients. So I bring that event in my front of my mind. That's called sakshat. So sanskar, sakshat, karanat, by doing that, purva jati gnanam, you will know about your prior birth. Purva means prior, jati means birth, purva jati gnanam. By bringing back the sanskaras within us, sanskaras are made up of memories as well as the seeds that we are seeds of vasana. Once you can bring those in front of you with yogic sadhana, you can understand the prior birth. That's what it was. Sanskar sakshat karanat purva jati gnanam. These ability they get. These abilities are so wonderful and so rare that we think that, oh no, I don't believe, I don't know. But yeah, of course you don't believe, because no, we have not trained our mind, no. It is like you show somebody from the remote villages of India or Africa or anywhere, and you tell them that this cell phone can let me talk to my brother face to face. He'll say, "Are you kidding? This is bogus. Throw it away." Because he has never seen, he has never experienced. So we have never seen yogis like this. We have never experienced. So we think that is mystical. It is not real. It is phony. I don't believe. But computer engineers, and now we will be able to fly also. The car will come, the machine will come at your door and say, okay, sir, where do you want to go? It won't even ask you, put it on computer. It will take you to Manhattan. If we told that 5 years ago, nobody will believe. And still we have a doubt about it. So that is different part, but that these abilities are real and can happen. So the next one is न च तत् सालंबनम तस्या विषयी, means yogi can understand another person's mind to some extent, that whether the person is under the effect of rag dvesh or he is beyond rag dvesh. Saints, great yogis can understand, and that's how they select their disciples. Understand who is very worldly, who is very ready to go on this path. Those things become very clear to them. They can get read. They can know what you are thinking. It is for real. One of our friends is a big devotee in the Swaminarayan Sampradaya. He does tremendous service to these yogis. He picks them up and spends a lot of time. One time he was dropping this great Swami to go to another place. He thought himself he was near the plane or a helicopter, and he wished that I wish I would had a picture with the Swamiji. He had such an intense desire. Swamiji was already inside the private plane. Then that Swami tells another disciple and says, go and call this Kiridbai. And he calls him and he says, okay, I want to have a picture with you. Means he understood the desire of this dedicated devotee. He called another and says, I want to have a picture with you. So, but these are the people who are extraordinary. If they say bless you, you will be blessed. And so they are extremely powerful. We don't believe these things, so be it. You know, so they can read the mind. The last sloka says that they can read the mind, but to a certain extent, because the mind you are reading is also not a pure mind. So that is a knowledge, it is a false knowledge. So another yogi or a yogi who is very profoundly into yoga can understand to some extent whether the person is devoted, not devoted, attached to the worldly thing, not attached to the raga, dvesha, devoid of that they can understand. But these masters, they do not use these to impress somebody or take advantage of somebody. That I can read your mind and say, I'll punish you. No, not like that. No. So these are the various vibhutis you get. And then now will be the vibhutis, means a lot of vibhutis you get, we will understand and see. And that is the advantage of a focused mind. Focused mind in the real life also makes you a scientist, gets you a vaccine, gets you a name, fame, everything. What is the difference? Focused mind. Focus means so focused that you cannot imagine. So, so if you have any question, you can ask, and you can read on your own. There's some of the books, and then the things will become clear. It is not going to become clear instantaneously, but it is this slow process. But once it becomes clear, it's yours for to have forever. So you can
Thank you.
ask any question if you have and be a yogi. God wants all of us to be a yogi. तपस्वी भ्यो अधिको योगी ज्ञानी भ्यो अपमतो अधिक कर्म बिश्च अधिको योगी तस्मात् योगिर भव अर्जुना. That's why he says, Arjuna, become yogi. You don't want to, you are a prince already. I want you to be a yogi. Means,
Just on the last words he explained about reading somebody's mind. Now AI is coming in the picture and all that data and all scientific thing. With that, I think you more related that it's like a telepathy, but people of that caliber do not, as you say, misuse it or use for their personal gain. Basically, it is for the benefit of the society at large. That's what I understand, right? Those yogis, they don't show up. The real yogis don't show up that
yeah,
I know this kind of magic.
yes. So these vibhutis are like you are going uh, to Mount Everest. In between, you will get many attractions and distractions. So these vibhutis you are passing by, you don't pay attention. Your goal is to go to Kevalya, means
Mm.
Nirbij Samadhi. So,
Mm.
but in the way you will have these assets, and that is a
So this is like in between stage when you're going through those after sadhana, sadhana, when you reach to that Rutambara stage, and then it becomes a nirbis samadhi where
yes,
your seeds and all desires are roasted.
yes,
So that time he does not have any personal gain of doing anything anyway, right? At
yes,
that stage, right?
yeah. These are ancillary benefits.
Okay, okay.
This is
Yeah.
not the main
Fringe,
thing. This is
fringe
not the
benefit.
not the main benefit for which you started your journey.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Good. Any other question for Dr. Chokshi, please?
Pranam, Dr. Chokshi.
Hi, Pranam. Pranam, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I have a question. Is Patanjali, is Maharishi Patanjali implying that the future is fixed?
What future is fixed?
Yeah. So if you can see into the future, does it mean that future is already fixed?
No. Future is your prarabdha. Means it is fixed, but it is not known to you. Its a script is not known to you. But yogi can figure it out. Okay, okay, this is what it is, And but they know the birth, death, old age. I will get disease, and sometimes they leave the body on their own. They say my work is done. Swami Vivekananda say, okay, I've done it, but I'm leaving my body. He called his fellow disciple and said, I spat out my body today. He told from Calcutta to Bangalore or wherever other devotee was, and he said that. That time there was no phones. And 2 days later, they came to know that Swamiji is no more. So Swamiji was a greatest yogi. So he says, whether I discard my body now, I will continue to guide and work for you till such time that every human being knows that there is only God and nothing else. Swami Vivekananda. So my teachings will continue to guide you. Means whatever I had to say, I said that. That will continue to guide you till such time that people realize divinity is for real. He was the greatest yogi. These people could do wonders. Bhagwan Ramakrishna put a hand on him and gave a hug, and all the knowledge was transferred to him for real. This is not bookish knowledge they have. When he was giving a speech in this world conference, he was nervous previous day. And he was talking to Bhagwan Ram Krishna that, what should I do? I'm in a foreign land and other things. And they had a special powers, no? So, so he could attract the whole world towards him. Not that he told many marvelous things in that 10 minutes or 5 minutes, no? But that had a divine effect on the crowd and in the world of that time. If you tell the same thing, if another yogi comes and talks the same thing, it will have no effect. So it was, time was different, need was different, instrument was different. So that's why just read the speech. If the same speech, if somebody else tells you, oh yeah, so you say okay, no, you won't go crazy. But the world at that time went crazy for him, and they called the monk from East. The wandering monk of East has come and awakened us, and we are spiritually awakened. And lot of people became his follower here and England and everywhere. So that was a divine hand. When the divine hand is there, the same message becomes very intense and appeals to people.
So one more question, one more thought arises in me is, can we in our practice call upon such great masters to guide us? Can that power that they had somehow hear our prayers?
Yeah, I mean, there are such yogis living and in the recent past, no? So like Sant Kabir, we are going to do next month, Sant Kabir. They were yogis, nothing less than that. He didn't go to any school, but they were profound yogis and have miraculous power and and lot of unbelievable events happen in their life for real. When he died, he just covered himself, and then the disciples, they took out the bed sheet and they found a pile of roses. And then he says, okay, half the Muslims took, half Indians took, the Hindus took. These are real. This is not a joke, no. But to understand such yogis and their stories and events, you have to be prepared also. Your mind has to be prepared. Same thing about Tukaram. Sant Tukaram was so devoted, and whole life he spent in bhakti. So they say at the end, the Lord Vishnu came on Garuda, and people saw that he walked with him in that plane or whatever, and God flew with him. And these hundreds and thousands of people have documented it and written it. It's no joke. No, it's no miracles, nor superstitious or nothing. This is real example. God sends such saints to tell that it is real. It's not phony, my friend. Just come towards me. That's why he sends these people. Mirabai, she walked in the temple. Nobody knows where Mirabai died. She walked in the temple and she merged with Krishna. And her husband and her what brother-in-law tried to kill her several times with several different, nothing else. These are real stories documented. If you want to go, just read Mirabai in great details. You'll find all these events verbatim, 400 years. So this is for real. But we think, oh, we are very smart and we don't believe that. Okay, so don't believe. This field is not for people who shrug shoulders. No.
Doctor, may I add something?
Yes.
So while the question, the first one, where she's thinking that if someone can know the future, that means it is fixed. That means that free will is not in the play. So there are two, three things. Let's bring it to the present circumstances when you have GPS. So that satellite positioning system takes into account the potential traffic that will have and then how it will pass, etc. So it gives you roundabout exact time when you will reach there. There could be difference also in various ways. So what happens is when we are talking about this sort of meda, uh, they know how you are going to react to the situation that would come in your life, meaning anybody's life. So for us, it is not fixed, and yet it is fixed. Prarabdh pehle racha, pache racha sharir, there is one saying. So whatever it is predestined, yet it is not destined in terms of that we don't have any control on how it is going to play out. I think something like that. Yeah.
Yes. So
But that question was interesting. Actually, it was
yes,
interesting.
it is interesting.
Yeah.
Prarabdha is fixed, but that can be modified by your purusharth. By God gave that also is that by purusharth you can modify this thing. Means you can from a lousy robber you can become a great saint, Valmiki. So you can become by your personal efforts. So that is why God sent all of us here. No, that go, get better, and then come back. Pass. This time pass. You are failing every time. So pass this time. No, otherwise you'll be going again and again. That's why Swami Vivekananda said this is a gymnasium. This is the university where God sends us. That you failed, but again go and take a teaching, and maybe this time you will be more involved and more attracted towards the divine field, and you will try, and you will be a liberated soul. You don't do it, and then you do more picnics here. Then that's fine. God says then you will have to come and go. That's it.
So that's why we are taking this extra class to pass. To pass.
That is what it is. But whoever does gets the benefit. No, and knows that. So more you do, more you will be convinced. No.
So I think why should we say it is fixed? Because by our karma, by our deeds, we can change it, isn't it? Then why are we
With your
saying it is fixed?
intense effort, you can change it, or you can make it less painful. Whatever is going to happen is will be happen, but that will not affect you. God makes you immune. Means, if I'm going to get cancer, I will get cancer. Not that the cancer will not come, but that cancer will not bother me or disturb my consciousness, and I will still be peaceful, blissful yogi.
Can I add something to it?
Yes, do so.
Okay. So my understanding is that there are some karmas which bring pralabdh, fate, in the sense it becomes your destiny. And like you have rightly pointed out, you can suffer the consequences or not, but you get it, right? But there are others that you can actually change. So not everything is fixed in your destiny. There are things which will happen according to the pralabdh karma. And Sri Sri Ravi Shankar describes it in a very funny way. He goes, okay, your height is your pralabdh karma. You are going to be as tall or short depending upon your chromosomes, your DNA. But how fat you get, that's your doing. Okay. So there are things that we can do, and there are
Yes.
things that we cannot do. And one other comment I have about gurus being able to read the minds. It's true. I know for a fact it's true. Okay.
Yes.
And there are machines which, like Manish was saying, that there are things which are now able to read your mind. So if you listen to Divya's lectures, I mean, she presents scientific data
Yes.
showing
Yes.
that these gadgets can actually read your mind. In fact, she wrote a chapter for the United Nations that we need neural human rights. Dinesh Khosla loves it because he's into human rights too. Okay. And, it's going to be even a bigger problem. The difference is that these gadgets that the scientists have now created, they are still not as good as these gurus, because again, in Autobiography of a Yogi, uh, Yoganand Paramhansa said his guru's mind was like, you can compare it to a big radio station that's transmitting as well as receiving. So we're all the same way. Our brains are receiving as well as sending
Yes.
messages, energy, and so on. But what happens is that the gurus have developed it to a point where they can influence the smaller minds like ours much more effectively than we can do. And they can also read our minds much more effectively than any one of us can do. So it's not just intuition, which everybody has to a variable extent. But yes, gurus have, and again, Atul, you rightly pointed out, it's the focus. Because one time a journalist asked Baba Muktananda, do you think, and what do you think? And he said, I think when I allow my mind to think. So they are so much in control of their mind, which allows them these siddhis that we just talked about.
Yes, because they have worked for it. These real yogis, they have worked countless hours and countless years
Yes.
for these sadhanas. Real yogis in the wilderness, they go and sit down in the caves and stay there for days and away from the people.
Years
So they
sometimes.
develop so much of ability. But we don't do even 1% and we look for ability, then it's not going to happen.
Right. We use only 3% of our brain capabilities.
Yes.
So these yogis work on it and they're able to use much more
so
of
God
that
says,
neural power.
yes,
Yeah.
God says that you use your as much as possible. I've given you beautiful computer, but if you don't
Exactly.
use, what can I do? No.
What can I do? Exactly.
Right. So means you had a great asset and you wasted it. And you got entangled in money and power and position in the world, and your time is finished. Come back.
Right.
That's it.
And you know that story about Vivekanand is that when he goes back, he tells his guru, Ramakrishna, that, oh, my lectures went very well and this and that. Ramakrishna, he said to him, this is a story my father told me, that stop. Wasn't there a point where you were stuck? And then all of a sudden you started speaking again. And so that many thousands of miles away, the guru knew what Vivekanand was saying on that podium. And he knew when he was in trouble and basically transmitted his knowledge.
Yes.
So that he was able to pick up and speak again. Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Thank you, Praveen. Very nice.
Will do.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti